All right, welcome into another edition of the Second Half Draft Show. I am your host, Juice, joined by Headley and Drew. And gents, obviously the legal tampering period has started. The free agency frenzy has started. Tons of trades, a lot of moving parts, a lot going on. We have been really focused, really zeroed in on the seven-team, individual team mock drafts. We're going to take a step back, look at things at a more of a macro level, and then also take into consideration what's happened, right? So, of course, it's a fluid situation as far as team needs are concerned. A lot of teams are actually going after it. Quite a few teams are going after it as far as addressing those needs in free agency, which gives them more flexibility in the draft. So, based on what's transpired thus far, Headley and Drew will address teams in a mock draft, a head-to-head duel, and we'll see some different names in some different spots now, right? We had kind of grown accustomed to seeing certain players or certain positions addressed by certain teams, but that is now going to change. And we're going to do a two-round variety here just to kind of whet your palate. And then, of course, we'll be back Friday, probably with another one. Maybe we'll go 3 rounds deep. We'll see ultimately what happens. But certainly a lot to kind of digest in the last 48 hours or so, 36 hours or so. So while I get this teed up, Headley, anything that has transpired thus far ahead of the new league year that really got your attention?
Oh, it's a lot, like you said, man. Free agency frenzy is going on right now. Some things that come to mind, the Cowboys traded for Stephon Gilly. I thought they might uh, grab a corner in the first round, but not now. Things change. Gilmore to go along with the rest of that secondary, man. That Cowboy secondary. They brought back the safety, also Donovan Wilson. So it's a legit secondary right now. So they could go elsewhere. Maybe on the offensive side of the football.
Right. And for you, Drew, what has kind of stood out to you thus far? You want to talk about your Bucks, man? What they doing over there?
Yeah, real quick. I'm just glad that Jamal Dean is back. I'm really upset, but if it's gonna give me Jamal Dean, then I'm fine with it. That they ended up trading Shaq Mason. I understand why it's done. It makes sense in terms of trying to save money and trying to keep some players. I just hope Levante David comes back, but we'll see what happens there. But I like what Sean Payton's doing over there, man. We're not gonna let Russell cook. We're gonna protect Russell, and he's gonna abide by what the play is called and get the job done. So I like it.
All right. Welcome in, Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn. Appreciate you. Jake, yeah, man, the David Montgomery deal. Hadley just
Yep.
broke it to us. The David
Yeah.
Montgomery deal really puts the kibosh effectively on the Bijan to Detroit possibility. And then Cullen Anderson, man, we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, man. Let's get into it. Who's going first? I mean, this is a mock draft, too. Who got who?
You got odds, Drew. I get evens. You can
Yeah,
go number
just so
one.
y'all know, this ain't easy. This ain't like pre-planned. Outside of us saying what we're gonna be doing in terms of it's out of even or one takes NFC, AFC, it's tough because you actually don't know what the next person is gonna gonna pick. So it's a little bit harder than you think when the pressure's on. So we'll see who's gonna buckle under the pressure.
All right,
Reach.
let's get it started. Yeah, somebody gonna reach. Somebody gonna reach. It's
Draft
bound to
malpractice.
happen. It's bound to happen. So I'm gonna have a bit of a faux clock on you guys just to keep us. You're at the top here with the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, they make the big trade with the Bears. They gave up a mint. So what do you do? What do you do at the top? I mean, I know it's quarterback, but who?
Yeah, and this is going to be what I would do. Any pick that I have is going to be what I would do. I'm going to stick with. I'm going to stay the course, and I'm going to go with Bryce Young, quarterback one. I know he's a little smaller than a lot of people would like, but he is prototypical traditional quarterback with some ability to create and make things happen, man. So I'm going to go with Bryce Young. I know that the talk right now all over Twitter is that it's C.J. Stroud. That's who they're liking, especially the owner. And then looks like Frank Reich is feeling AR. So, but I'm going to stick to the board, and I'm going to go with Bryce Young.
All right, Headley, what do you think about the Bryce Young? I mean, we've been pretty consistent considering Bryce Young quarterback one. Rather not necessarily who you would select, but who do you think Carolina selects here?
Yeah, Drew already threw the first curveball out there. We just talked like a brief second before he said he was going CJ Stroud, and then he switched it up audible, Bryce Young. So, but for me personally, I think they made that trade up to get a CJ Stroud just because the buzz was us popping on CJ Stroud, what he did in the combine. He did everything effortlessly. So I think Carolina fell in love with Stroud. I think that's where they're going.
Yep.
What up, Derek?
What up? What's going on, Derek? Good to see you, as always. Actually, I want to extend the invitation to those who are watching, those who come in a bit later. As we're making these selections, please, by all means, comment who you would select, and hopefully, in all likelihood, we'll get to them and we'll kind of discuss them and analyze them. So be sure to comment who you would pick with each selection. All right. That takes us to the second overall pick. And Headley, you got Houston, 2 first-round selections, second and 12th overall. This is an opportunity to grab that quarterback, man.
Yeah, Houston Texans, Davis Mills experiment over. We're going to grab the quarterback. CJ Stroud, he's the number 2 quarterback on my board. Might be number 1 quarterback on Houston's board. Who knows? But, he can make any throw. Just how he maneuvers in the pocket, has an NFL arm. And a lot of people lacked his mobility. But that last game of the season, he kind of unlocked it against Georgia and made plays all game long. So, yeah, CJ Stroud's a pick number 2 to the Texans.
All right, CJ Stroud is the selection. That takes us to the Arizona Cardinals. Drew, you're back on the clock. A number of different directions you can go in here. You got the top 2 defensive prospects on the board, as well as cornerback 1 in the eyes of CPGM. Or do you go to the offensive side of the ball? What do you do at number 3 overall?
Man, this is tough right here, man. I was thinking cornerback, but with Will Anderson and Jalen Carter sitting there, I don't think I can go cornerback here. I think I'm going to go Jalen Carter, man. Let's do the right thing, man. Well, let's get that beef. And I know he got them issues, and I know they're talking about him dropping to number 9. I get it. With this, I guess taking off after the scene of an accident, whatever it was, but I'm going to go Jalen Carter here. I think that would be the best fit for the Cardinals here. Again, could have gone Will Anderson in terms of outside linebacker, edge, if you will, or, top cornerback Christian Gonzalez or Joey Porter or something like that. But I'm going to go Jalen Carter here.
And obviously there's more to come. I think between now and the actual draft, there'll be more discussion, around Jalen Carter. Coming into draft season, into this particular draft cycle, he's considered the top prospect as far as CPGM is concerned. But because of those off-the-field concerns, issues, transgressions, certain teams will take him off the board. You know what I mean? So I could see Carter going as high as 3 overall and perhaps as low as 12th overall, right? I'm not sure anybody here on this panel would let that happen per se, but certainly there are going to be certain organizations that decide, you know what, we're not interested. We're gonna skew on the side of caution and go in a different direction. And of course, there's a ton of great prospects, but Carter is the overall best prospect from a football perspective. All right, Heather, that puts you back on the clock. You got the Indianapolis Colts. Are you going to make it? You got to make it. You got to make it another quarterback. 3 out of the first 4 picks of quarterbacks. Matt Ryan has been released. The question is, who at quarterback? Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, 4th overall?
Yeah, this is the decision. I think this is where the draft starts. Kind of we don't know what quarterback the Colts are targeting. Something tells me it's going to be Will Levis. I just feel like Will Levis. We see them under a prototypical offense under center. We see him do those kind of things. The arm talent is tantalizing. I just feel like the Colts, Will Levis is their guy. I know AR is tempting as well, especially when he did after the combine. But I think Levis is more of a finished product. I think AR has the higher ceiling. And I think Colts picked the safe guy and Will Levis here and don't want to, risk getting fired later on if AR doesn't pan out.
So do you believe, and I'm interested to hear what you think, Drew. You think the floor is higher with Will Levis?
I think he's coming in more ready than AR at the next level.
Okay, a little bit more pro ready, but not necessarily a higher floor. Is that what you're telling me?
I would say a higher floor also.
Okay, all right, fair enough. What about you, Drew? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I'm not mad at it. I understand it. And that's probably going to be the conversation if Will Levis goes before Anthony Richardson. But I don't know if I can pass up that talent. Don't know if I can be that GM that does that, because if AR ends up being who we think he could be, going to be looking crazy. Will Levis is going to have to be Going to have to be that Josh Allen that people keep thinking that he can possibly be to be okay with making that pick over AR if AR becomes the guy we think he can be.
Personally, it's a little too close for me to go with Will Levis over Anthony Richardson from my evaluation purposes, right? You can certainly make the argument that Will Levis is a little further along. He certainly has more experience under center. But when I consider the evaluation and some of the challenges juxtaposed against the actual ability of the players, I think I would, even if it's a little bit more of a risk, I think I'm rolling the dice on Anthony Richardson when it comes to he and Will Levis. The other two quarterbacks, Young, Stroud, to me are 1 and 2. Then I think obviously there's a little bit more volatility with the next two. But if I'm going to take a chance on either of those quarterbacks, for me personally, it's going to be my guy Anthony Richardson here. Jake said Will Anderson, Draymond Jones. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. They can really make it happen here. As Derek indicated, it is a dream scenario for the Seahawks here. Drew, who's it going to be?
Until they go left and they go Anthony Richardson. I'm not going to do that. But that's a possibility here because essentially Gino's contract is essentially a 1-year deal. If you really look into the nuts and bolts of it, it's just a 1-year deal. But we're not going to do that, man. I'm going to do the right thing. We'll go Will Anderson, man.
All right.
And on some people's board, he is the best player. But, yes, it's, 1A, 1B. Will Anderson's been the best player in college football for a little while, according to many. So we're going to go ahead and do the right thing. They did do some work in free agency, and Jake spoke about that in terms of what they did. They know what they needed to do, and we're going to continue to do that in this draft and draft Will Anderson, who's excellent against the run and has some nice chops in the pass rush department.
Helly, I mean, Drew said it all as far as the Seahawks being relatively aggressive as far as outfitting that D line. They've got some interior guys. They've added some players here. What do you do in that situation? I mean, assuming Will Anderson's available, it's a no-brainer, right? Even though they've made some additions on the front seven, on that down line, Will Anderson is available. You double down as far as bolstering that pass rush, correct?
Yeah, you got to, man. The talent, man, he's a top 4 player in this entire class. You got to select him there.
All right, that takes us to the Detroit Lions, first of 2 first-round selections, 6 overall. They did bring in Sutton. We mentioned at the top, David Montgomery is now in tow. You pair him up with DeAndre Swift, so that really takes the Bijan calculus out of the equation, although we don't think Bijan's going as high as 6. He may have been in play at 18, but that certainly isn't the case anymore. It doesn't appear to be the case anymore. What do you do here, Headley?
Yeah, you said it, man. Not only Cam Sutton, they also brought in Emmanuel Mosley, another corner there. So a lot of people have Witherspoon here. Maybe Christian Gonzalez if you like him more, but I think corner's out of the question at 6. And then at 18, we're going to get to it later. I was thinking Bijan Robinson there, but Montgomery. So this is another team where free agency kind of dictates that, okay, we could probably go best player left on the board. I think Tyree Wilson, physical edge. You drafted Aiden Hutchinson last season. You get another guy on the other side of him. He could rush from the interior, long, physical, arm length, tackle radius. He just has all the tools, man. It's tantalizing. And it's a guy we didn't see much of in this pre-draft process. He's been nursing an injury. But I think that they couldn't pass him up here at number 6, Tyree Wilson.
All right. That takes us to the 7th overall pick. We have the Raiders on the clock. And, I think it's been a mixed bag, to put it lightly, as far as the Raiders offseason to this point. Where they've decided to spend their money as far as free agency is concerned. They got Garoppolo. They paid Jacoby Myers. They trade away Darren Waller. They think they brought in Philip Dorsett as well. That may suggest that Hunter Renfrow is on the way out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. But I think those Raider fans, Las Vegas fans, that felt that this needs to be a pure defensive draft, they may get their wish. They may ultimately get their wish. What do you do here at 7, Drew? Do you grant that wish? Do you grant the wish?
I don't know, because I don't know what I'm doing as a Raider front office guy right now. All over Twitter, bro. I'm just Raider fan at the Raider fan. Everybody just kind of kind of shaking their head because they have no idea what's
shaking
happening.
Their head. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I feel bad for Raider fan, but it is what it is. I'm just going to go with the best player on the board right now. I'm going to go ahead. We're not going to go offense. We're going to go defense. Talking defense, I'm going to go Christian Gonzalez, cornerback.
Damn, Headley.
Yeah, he took my guy.
I know you were eyeing him for Atlanta.
Nah.
I knew you were eyeing him. So
I got
what
another
do you
guy
pivot
though.
to? What do you pivot to?
It's Devin Witherspoon, man, and he might, fit this defense a little better because he's a physical guy. He can play inside, outside, has the versatility. I like what the Falcons has done this in free agency. You brought in Jesse Bates to go with Richie Grant and AJ Terrell. We got Witherspoon on the other side. We shore up that secondary. Also, they've been doing re-signing the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And all
Lindstrom,
of that.
McGrary.
Yeah. But so I think, just getting that secondary right and getting Witherspoon. I'm not mad at it. Christian Gonzalez was my top corner, but I think Witherspoon is so versatile and can do many things for this defense.
All right, and that takes us to the aforementioned Chicago Bears. Again, of course, they make the huge trade with the Carolina Panthers. They get a bevy of draft capital as well as DJ Moore to help out that receiving core. They went big with Terrell Edmonds. There's been some conversation as to whether or not they may bring in Orlando Brown to help shore up that offensive line. What do you do? Based on what's transpired thus far, Drew, what do you do here with the 9th overall pick?
Man, it's tough, bro. If you had to say Orlando Brown, like you had to just throw him in there, bro, because threw a wrench in my stuff. If they go Orlando Brown, then I think then I'm not going to go offensive.
He's not there though. He's not there.
He's not
now,
there.
so.
He's not there.
Right.
So I'm going to go Paris Johnson. But if he is there, then maybe I go corner and grab me a Joey Porter Jr. here.
No, you don't.
Don't do that?
No, you don't.
Okay. All right.
You got Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon. You're not doing that. Maybe.
Listen,
maybe. But I don't think so.
But go ahead and grab Paris Johnson, Ohio State offensive tackle. Take him off the board, please.
All right. Rounding out the top 10 here, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. First of 2 first-round selections. Headley, Rashad Penny in tow. They re-up with James Bradbury. They're looking to trade Darius Slay. I don't necessarily quite understand it. I guess it's a dollar figure situation. I believe Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has at least one suitor, and he's waiting for the Eagles to want to give them an opportunity to match. I believe that's the reports. What do you do here now that you made that? And I don't think it necessarily precludes you of going running back relatively early. Maybe not 10, but certainly with Rashad Penny now and Kenneth Gainwell also in on that roster. It may be really a Howie Roseman type of deal here where they just say, you know what, we're not doing that. I know we got 2 first-round picks, but we're not going in that direction. Perhaps corner here, considering that they're trying to move Slay. What do you do?
Yeah, if his corner is, Joey Porter Jr. But Slay's still on the roster technically. Maybe they work things out. So I might go a little different direction, and I'm gonna go with upside right here. I'm gonna go with Lucas Van Ness from Iowa. Just the physicality he brings. If you watch Iowa games, I know he didn't start any games, but once he got in the game, you knew him. You pinpointed him. You noticed him. Sometimes you look at, is he low socks? Is he wearing high socks? Like try to pinpoint a player. Van Ness, he just jumps off the screen every time. That burst, that agility, that power, that run stopping. So I got Lucas Van Ness to the Eagles.
All right. The Eagles grab Lucas Van Ness, reloading that defensive front. Of course, they brought back Brandon Graham. Reports indicate Jason Kelce will be back on a 1-year deal, so they're going to make another run at it. They're retaining a lot of their veterans. They lost a player or 2 at the second level, but I think, Nakobe Dean slots in, wears the green dot, and I think that may end up actually being an upgrade. It'll be interesting to see if they can bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think that's a big piece. Tennessee, Drew. What did the Titans do here, man? They seem to be a team that's a little bit in flux. I'm not sure. There's reports that they want to move Henry and perhaps go in a different direction. I don't know what this team is going to look like. So from a draft perspective, what do you do?
Didn't they release Taylor Lewan as well? Didn't they do that?
They did.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure what's the plan there. Maybe you're just moving some pieces around and trying to figure some things out. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the safe pick here. And I'm going to go with JSN here, receiver.
Ooh.
I'm going to give them a receiver, man. They need that along with Traylon Burks out there. So I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit and go receiver, if you don't mind.
I don't know that that's necessarily low-hanging fruit.
You don't think so?
I like the pick. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think pairing him with Traylon Burks, this is really good. That's a very interesting combination. I think they complement each other very well, but I don't consider that low-hanging fruit.
You don't think it's low-hanging fruit? I think so, but you know.
No, I don't. I really don't, because you got a guy like Skoronski on the board. Broderick Jones. It's an area that this team has built the foundation of their team on, right? Being
Right.
stout up front, whether it be on the defensive side of the ball or offensive, but being able to control the line of scrimmage, right? Got a pair of guys there that I think would slot in really nicely. Although, to your point, they do need to get better on the perimeter. You know what I mean? And JSN is a special player, man. You know what I'm saying? There's question marks in terms of him playing outside the numbers, this, that, and the other. But what he has done when he's been healthy has been nothing short of impressive. So I actually like it. I like it.
Do you think if they're trying to trade Derrick Henry, you think they might be, it may not be the Henry show, later in the season? Maybe they want to pass the football more. Maybe they're kind of changing their mindset in terms of what they're going to do on offense. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know that you necessarily have to get rid of Henry in order to operate differently, right? Okay. You decide not to lean quite as heavily on it. It may be one of those situations where it's a dollars and cents deal, right? It could come down to that. Or, you know what? Henry hasn't necessarily finished all that strong over the last couple of seasons. Maybe, just maybe, we want to get out in front of it. He still has good football in him, but we want to get out in front of it, get something in return for him. Maybe that's the thought process, but I don't know that you have to jettison Henry to take on a bit of a different approach, right, as far as your offense is concerned. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works out. Yeah, I was a little surprised, not necessarily that he was the first one, but where he went. But now, as I think about it, Derek, I actually kind of like it. I kind of like it. All right, Headley, you're back up. 12th overall pick, Houston Texans. So at the first time around, you got them. CJ Stroud, what do? Do you get him a weapon?
Yeah, I was thinking weapon, but I thought what he did in free agency, bringing in Robert Woods and Noah Brown to go along with Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks. Maybe, they wait a little bit for wide receiver. So I'm thinking about the defensive side of the football. They also traded for Shaq Mason on the offensive line, which they needed help with. I'm thinking on the defensive side of the football. And I'm going to go with a guy here. I think he's a fast riser up this draft class. Nolan Smith from Georgia. I think he comes off the edge. It's physical. You think because of his size, he might not be able to stop the run, but he's great at stopping the run, smart, instinctive. And what he did at the combine, man, I'm surprised he made it out of the top 10. So I'm going number 12 here to the Houston Texans.
All right. They lose Okonkwo to Cleveland. So and they have a lot of guys along that defensive down line that are going to ultimately be free agents next year. They're going to have to make some decisions. My only question here is, do you think he has a playing weight to be able to put his hand in the ground?
Oh, definitely. He's 238, but he's so physical at 238. When I looked at him in Georgia, he did well against the run, and you know how Georgia plays their defensive line and stuff like that, and they want him to get after the run also. So I thought he did a good job of that.
So there are still conversation as to whether or not Brandon Cooks will be traded. They're certainly opening it up for a trade, but Haley opts for the defensive end Nolan Smith to the Texans with their second of 2 first-round selections. That puts the Jets back on the clock. All signs are pointing towards Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback in New York. He basically is trying to get the whole band back together, Drew. You know what I'm saying? He basically told him, get my guy Randall Cobb, bring me Alan Lazard. I need some Mercedes Lewis with it. You know what I mean? He's trying to get the band back together. So I think we'll hear officially that deal gets done here within the next day or so. With that assumption, I imagine you're operating with that assumption. Which direction do you go in here with the 13th overall pick?
Oh, man. Would it be crazy to go? No. It'd be
I know you think it.
I'm not gonna do it. Could you go to pass rushers, please? Let me just see. I see Miles Murphy is there. Just looking for a little bit more flat. I'm gonna go ahead and get my guy right there, BJ Ojulari. I know a lot of people are not gonna like it, but I'm gonna grab him right here, right now. I'm going to do the right thing, get these boys some flash and dash off the edge, and BJ Ojulari, nice, long, strong pause, beast off the edge, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's get them.
All
I know
right.
people still sleeping on him, and they probably gonna sleep on him up until the draft. Somebody gonna drop some nuggets, and then he gonna jump up boards. Watch.
Are you on board with that, Headley? As far as BJ Ojulari climbing,
I was. Yeah, before this mock draft, I was thinking, where's BJ Ojulari going? Because I know Drew and I both love him. But the value. Some people are thinking that he's falling down the board a little bit. But I'm not mad at BJ Ojulari. He's my edge rusher number 2. So getting him at 13, I think, is a steal. I think people are going to wake up and realize what he possesses as a pass rusher.
Yeah, Al, your boy Headley was calling for that one too. He said about
both of y'all called
2 weeks ago.
Both of them called
Bates is a Falcon, so you guys were on point.
You
guys were on point.
Hopefully the rest of what Headley was talking about don't come true, but we'll see.
We shall see. Headley, you're on the clock with the New England Patriots.
They need some juice on offense. I know the Patriots hasn't drafted receivers well in the past, but I don't think they could pass it up. I'm gonna go with Jordan Addison, the wide receiver from USC. Right now they have Bourne. Jacoby Myers is now in Las Vegas, so they need some dynamic weapons on the outside. They also have Devontae Parker, so I think Addison fits it. Matt Jones, they need to pass the ball, man. I know we could run the football, but we need to open up the offense as well. So I'm going Addison.
All right, Addison to New England. Of course, Jacoby Myers on the move. We mentioned that earlier. The question is going to be whether or not Addison has the play strength, and the corresponding speed for his lack of size in order to be effective. But, he makes plays at every level of the field, the route running, the ability to leverage and play inside and outside the numbers. I think it's all there. I think people are kind of, taking it a little too far as athletic testing and overthinking it with Addison to a certain degree. So Addison to New England, that's 2 receivers in the first 14 picks. You know what I mean? Depending on who you ask, this isn't a great receiver class. So that doesn't seem to be the case among you, Headley and Drew. You guys think these guys are ready to go difference makers here early. Drew, you got a lot of responsibility here with this pick. Man. This is Jake's Packers 15th overall pick. No JSN on the board, though. No JSN.
No JSN on the board. And so I am going to I'm going to go Michael Mayer, bro. I'm going to do it. Let's go.
I knew it. I knew it was Mayer.
Nah, I'm not taking Richardson. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm going to take Michael Mayer, man. Give you best of the both worlds in terms of the offensive line, and a guy can get out there, catch the ball, big target. Not an easy guy to take down. It's like a train on the track. So, yeah, we're going to do that. Give Jordan Love another weapon because we know, weapons are leaving him to go with Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah.
The only thing I will say, Michael Mayer is an excellent player, right? I won't sneeze at him being tight end 1 at all. I just wonder, considering the depth at the position, do you make a trade down? If you're targeting him, you know what I mean? Is it?
I think you do
have to get him. You know what I mean? Exactly. To add a little draft capital here, just because of the sheer depth at the position. Now, if you are, over the moon for a player, then don't risk it. But I think you can trade down, several slots, especially if somebody's looking for a corner, i.e. Joey Porter. You know what I mean? They like this tackle, Peter Scarante out here. Excuse me. Might be a nice opportunity to trade down. Excuse me. I apologize.
Yeah, get that water in,
Headley,
man.
you're up. You're up, Headley.
Washington, I think this is a dream scenario for the Commanders. The cornerback has fallen to them. They need a cornerback really bad, and Joey Porter Jr. I just love how he plays the game. He just has that confidence and swagger that you want from that cornerback position. And what impressed me the most with him is not only is he physical, he get in your face, but when I saw him match up against Marvin Harrison Jr., probably the best receiver in college football, he did get a little separation from him, but that closing ability, that ability to make contested knockdowns and get into the receiver's lane, I think Joey Porter Jr. is a beast, and he'll help Washington.
Is the pick to Washington. Pittsburgh, the thought process is that they might be in the market for a corner. They certainly could go offensive line. They did bring in Pat Pete. They lose Cam Sutton. So which direction do you go in now that Porter's off the board? The top three corners: Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez. What direction do you go in here, Drew?
Yeah, I was thinking Porter if he was there, but we're gonna go ahead and go Peter Skoronski. Do the right thing in terms of the offensive line. It's still a position of that needs to be adjusted, fixed, amended, whatever you want to call it, needs to be done. Got to protect that franchise and Kenny Pickett, who actually had a good second half of the season. So let's continue that and protect him. You know.
All right, Pittsburgh fans. I certainly hope they've seen the light.
Sure.
Although they will argue, Pittsburgh fans will argue that, as the season drew closer towards the end, that group, they played a lot of snaps together and they started to gel. We saw Najee Harris get healthy. They were more effective in terms of protecting as well as running the football, particularly running the football. So I still think they have an opportunity to really bolster that group. And I like Skoronski, particularly if he falls to 17. I think that's fool's gold at that juncture. Detroit back on the clock here, Headley.
Yeah, this one's tough, man, because it was the Bijan Robinson pick. They just grabbed David Montgomery to go with Swift. So Tyree Wilson, I got him number 6 pick. So I'm looking at the board. I see Anthony Richardson's name staring me in my face. I know
don't do it, bro. Chill.
Jared Goff is still there. I know the Bucks is right after me. I'll probably trade it down. If I'm Detroit, because I know somebody's probably going to trade up in front of Tampa to get a quarterback. This is tough, man. I'm gonna just go with that.
Bro. It's not tough, bro. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing, bro.
I got you, Drew, man. I'm gonna go a little bit. I wouldn't say off the board, but I don't know if people got him this high. But his skill set to play linebacker, Trenton Simpson from Clemson. I think the Lions need some more explosive playmakers. We got him Tyree Wilson. We're gonna shore up that front seven even more, and we're gonna get Trent sideline to sideline. He can rush the edge. I think he can play all 3 positions, even safety if you like. If you want him to cover somebody, he can do that as well. Trent Simpson.
All right, bolstering that defense in Detroit. The Bucks.
Go ahead, make a pick, bro. You already know. Just do it, man. We ain't gotta discuss it. Anthony
we ain't gotta talk about it.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah. Let's do the right thing. That's easy, bro. And it'll be Gator versus Gator on the squad. You're talking about Trask gonna get a shot. Well, it's gonna be Gator versus Gator. See what happens.
We'll see what happens. I cannot imagine Anthony Richardson falling this far, but certainly I imagine the Bucks would be ecstatic. They've been talking about it. At least there was discussions about bringing in Baker Mayfield to compete. They don't want to necessarily hand it to Trask, right? I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me, especially after the Shaq Mason trade. It just doesn't make sense to me. Give him an opportunity, unless of course you have a Anthony Richardson or Will Levis that happens to be available. Then we're having a different conversation. So Seattle's on the clock. The first time around, Drew made the pick. Will Anderson landed in the Seahawks' lap at 5th overall. What do you do to follow up that, Headley?
Yeah, I'm looking the board, and that Anthony Richardson, he would have been a nice fit here. I know we just gave Geno some money, but we could develop the quarterback after Geno. But I'm gonna go to the trenches on the other side of the football. I'm gonna go John Michael Schmitz, the center for Seattle. We got Will Anderson on the defensive line, and you got a running back named Kenneth Walker. I think he's a special running back. You showed up your tackles last year. Let's get some help on the interior offensive line, and let's go John Michael Smith, a guy, center one, a guy we love over here.
All right, Jake giving us a little 411 with the Vikings trading for Byron Murphy. Yes, I agree, Derek. That would be a dream scenario with Anthony Richardson falling to them at 19. And Paris Johnson was a pick at 9 for the Bears. All right, bolstering that offensive line to protect one Justin Fields. 22nd pick, obviously the 21st pick being vacated. It's an even pick, even though it's an odd pick. It's an even pick. So we're gonna give it to Headley. Headley, you got back-to-back picks here. Actually, wait.
You threw me off.
wait. Nah, you got to make the pick. Before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit more about the John Michael Schmitz selection. According to this database, they have him 53rd overall. It's well into the second round, but you see him as a first-round prospect, Headley.
Oh yeah, he's graded like I think he's like top 15 on my board. Him and Osiris Torrance are the top tier offensive line on my board. So yeah, I think he's a first round guy.
All right. Jake is sneaking Zay Flowers, Bijan Robinson. Of course, the Chargers have been discussing potentially trading, or at least gave Austin Eckler permission, to trade or seek a trade because they couldn't agree to a contract extension. I don't understand it. Um, I like the idea of Zay Flowers, but among a Keenan Allen and a Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer in the mix there. So certainly a player to consider. Colin Anderson giving us a little information. Travis Homer to Chicago. Can imagine Seattle drafting running back now somewhere. Yes. I think certainly day 3, it's in the cards. It's a deep running back class. They got their guy. Kenneth Walker is going to be the lead back there. I think they still have DJ Dallas for a year, and then they'll add another guy. They'll add either a veteran or a running back day 3. I would imagine in Seattle, assuming it falls that way. There may be a guy that they love falls in their lap, and then they go in that direction on day 2. All right. Hadley, as I mentioned, you're back on the clock here with the 22nd pick. Chargers.
It's Bijan. It's Bijan. We trade out Austin Eckler. We're finding a landing spot for him, and we're going to draft Bijan Robinson, a top running back in the class. I think this guy's a top 3 player in the entire draft class. He's up there. He's just the running back position. We know how that goes. No one's going to get him probably in the top 5, top 10. So I think this is a steal here. Justin Herbert, you imagine what Austin Eckler did in that offense. Now imagine what Bijan's going to do in that offense. So it's going to be mighty impressive. I know receivers in need also, but they restructured Keenan Allen and Mike Williams deal, bringing the band back, Josh Palmer, and I think a tight end will be something they get later on. But yeah, we're going Bijan, and I love the Aaron Kendricks pickup too at linebacker. I thought that was a steal also.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice move, and I was gonna go Bijan because thought that was my pick, but I would have gone Bijan as well. That's where I was going. But I guess I got Baltimore. Is Nolan Smith still on the board?
No,
he's gone. Nolan Smith is gone. All right. Well, then that means I got
where did he land, Hadley? Where did Nolan Smith land? Houston.
Houston.
Oh yeah. I like that.
Zachary, what are you saying no to, man? Which pick do you disagree with? Inquiring minds need to know. Go ahead, Drew.
I like Felix Anaduke Uzama here.
Okay.
I do, but I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Right.
I like him there. I like him for the Ravens. I think he's a good Raven fit. But I need you to slide on over to receiver, if you don't mind. We're gonna give Lamar some help.
You think it's Lamar? You think it's gonna be Lamar?
Yeah, I mean, if not, I need the Bucks to trade for him. But I'm living in a fantasy world.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. I love Zay Flowers. I really, really like him, but I think he's the more sure thing between Quentin Johnston and Jalen Hyatt. I know a lot of people are really high on Jalen Hyatt. I love my Rashee Rice. But I'm gonna go with the big play guy. I'm gonna go with Quentin Johnston. I think he has the speed, he has the playmaking ability that you want from the position. Just got to keep him focused and dialed in, and get him his touches. And I think he can perform for you at the receiver position. It's a big need for them. I know corner's probably another need for this team, but it's time, bro. It's time to give Lamar what he needs, and that's another receiver. Plus, they got a new offensive coordinator there who can mirror that thing up. So let's get it.
What do you think about that fit, Hadley? I have questions regarding the fit. I'll be honest with you.
What was it? Quentin Johnson from Baltimore?
We don't know what the offense looks like. You don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, we don't know the offense. We don't know the quarterback right now.
To a degree, you don't know what the offense is. Todd Monken's coming in. I think you have to. I think he has some growth to do. He has some growing to do as a route runner. Derek, I understand where you're coming from. I do. I understand the comparison. I think you just have to have a plan for him. I guess that's the point. And with Todd Monken, we should give him the benefit of the doubt. Greg Roman, I'm not so sure about this, right? Because Quentin Johnson, what does he do? He goes vertical and he runs drag routes. You know what I mean? You let that athleticism go to work. So if you put him in positions to be successful, I certainly can understand it. That just kind of remains to be seen. Although we probably should give Todd Monken the benefit of the doubt.
So let me ask: if you go on receiver, though, who would you? Is it Cedric Tillman, Rashee Rice, or Zay Flowers, or you like a Jalen Hyatt?
If I'm selecting a receiver right there, I probably lean towards Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. Okay, I'm mad at it. Yeah.
I probably lean that way, just because of the polish, the explosiveness, and the consistency. Whereas, we saw some peaks and valleys in Quentin Johnston's game, and I think you made a really good point. You have to kind of get him involved early, otherwise he could just, he could end up on a milk carton, right? He could just go missing for games at a time, weeks at a time. So there's some work that needs to be done there. Although the upside and the physical tools are very tantalizing. I certainly understand it from that perspective. And then, of course, the Ravens only have so many draft picks. I think they're entering the draft with only 5 selections. Of course, we're not doing any trades in this mock draft duel, but they need to work the board. They certainly need to work the board. If a guy like Bijan Robinson is available to them, maybe, just maybe, but still, I think the priority needs to be adding additional draft capital, which then puts you in that Josh Downs, Rashee Rice, Cedric Tillman category, right? And I think for my purposes, in terms of value and everything, I feel a little bit better about those players, to be honest with you, going to this location. But again, the wild card here is it's actually a pair of wild cards, a pair of jokers. Lamar Jackson, long term, and then what does Todd Monken mean for this offense? So remains to be seen. Minnesota on the clock here, Headley.
I keep going back and forth on this pick. It's pretty much been the whole offseason. Wide receiver, corner. We just got the breaking news. Murphy, they just traded for him. He's a corner. That's where I was going to go for Minnesota with the 24th pick. But I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to get sexy, man. I'm going to stat the offense. Adam Thielen, he's no longer there. So we're going to go big play Zay Flowers for the Minnesota Vikings with Justin Jefferson. Man, once Flowers has the ball in his hand, he's super explosive. That's going to be one of the most explosive offenses. We'll see if Dalvin Cook is still on the roster. But with those 3 guys, that's one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL.
Absolutely. That's a nightmare to match up with. Jacksonville, Drew.
Got to be responsible, man. This might be a Brian Branch pick, or this could be. Let me check them corners. I know Deontay Banks, Keely Ringo. Ooh. Yeah, Zay over Hyatt for sure, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
And we can talk about that here in a second, but I'm gonna go.
You got Cam Robinson, Walker Little at your tackles. You good with that? Juwan Taylor now in Kansas City. You good with that?
I'm good with it because the corner's deep too, though. Go to tackles real quick. Let me just take a peek.
You got Broderick Jones, Anton Harrison, Darnell Wright.
I got my pick. So if the mock draft simulator, if this was reality, and I know how this is gonna fall because we did this so many times, I let it ride and go get my corner because I know who's gonna be there in the second round. But I guess I got to do the right thing. We gonna get nasty. We gonna get ugly. We gonna get disgusting. We gonna get Broderick Jones. Let's do it.
I like it. Calvin Ridley gonna be reinstated. Jacksonville could be scary, man. It could be scary. Young team on the rise. New York Giants, Headley with the 26th overall pick.
Yeah, they just traded for Darren Waller. They needed a weapon for Daniel Jones. I think they need even more weapons. Look at the wide receivers. I think that's their biggest need. You got Jalen Hyatt, stretch the field, Josh Downs, Rashee Rice, Cedric Tillman. Love Cedric Tillman. I think they could probably get him with that 58th pick. I think that would be lovely for the Giants. And I had the 58th pick. So you know what? I'm not going wide receiver. I'm gonna get Tillman right there. I don't think Drew's gonna get him. Maybe. You gonna get him, Drew?
You showed your hand.
Yeah, a little bit. I forgot Drew was here, man. Go to all for the New York Giants. Brian Branch. I think he's a player. Oh, Murphy. Murphy's a player that's fallen also. Got a line of scrimmage discriminator right there. This one is kind of tough. I'm gonna go get a. No, I can't do that either.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking Kalijah Cansey. just to get another pass rusher. But you got Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, two beasts on the interior. I don't know if Giants fans gonna like this one, but I see a position of need, and this is a player that I love. I said whoever gets him is gonna have a steal. It's Drew Sanders, the linebacker. He could also rush from the edge. He helps in the passing game. Right now, I know you brought in Okereke, Bobby, from Indianapolis, but we can't run Jared Davis out there, man. We can't run him out there starting. I know that's your guy, Drew, but
here we go.
We're gonna upgrade that. We're gonna bring Drew Sanders.
You certainly can't,
real, bro. Runs deep, bro.
You certainly can't have that guy 54 out there. You definitely can't have him out there. All right, that's a problem. I do want to address Timothy's question here. Zay over Hyatt, and I want to give both of you an opportunity to kind of let me know what you think about it. I certainly prefer Zay Flowers to Hyatt. What about you?
Yeah, it's the route running. It's the route running for me. You know, Hyatt was on a lot of design stuff. Zay Flowers could create separation. He just looks like a receiver, man. And once he get the ball in his hands, I think he's more explosive than Hyatt. So yeah, Zay Flowers for me.
I've seen comps with Zay Flowers. I've seen people comp him to like a Calvin Ridley because we know he was crisp coming out in terms of his routes. And you know, how does Booger McFarland say it? Can stop on a dime and give you 9-cent change. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think he's just a more complete player. With Hyatt, you know, it's you know, super explosive, and a lot of his stuff was just kind of schemed open. You know, and he was open. Hooker got him the football. It's nobody's fault. You know what I mean? It's just he was open and it was there. So you know, he's got a lot of his plays are highlight reels. You know what I mean? While you know. Flowers has some highlights, but you can see that there's more to watch and understand in terms of his game versus Hyatt, who's just kind of running by folks. So I'm gonna take I think Flowers is the safer play, if you will.
I think there was a lot of scheme involved as well. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Hyatt's speed plays, right?
Absolutely.
It can be a difference maker, right? Just his presence can be a difference maker for an offense. But you know, a lot of those big plays, and I think Tillman's the better receiver. To be perfectly frank, Tillman's a better receiver, you know. But you know, a lot of busted coverages. You know, that stacked release really give teams fits. You know, I think Hyatt is a good player, a nice piece, but I have him more as a early to mid day 2 prospect. To be perfectly honest, I want to get to some of these comments here, man. Cullen Anderson, this is actually the direction I thought you were going in, Headley, with the Giants.
I thought
you were going Brian Branch.
I thought about it. Yeah, I definitely thought about it.
Bama.
But but you know, Bama. But yeah, I could have did that because it would be interchangeable safeties. But I knew McKinney is the free, and I was like, Bryant's kind of a free, come down to nickel. But I kind of like what the Giants have at nickel, so that's why I kind of changed it up and went to the middle of the defense.
Okay. The only big question there is Love, right? What is his you know, whether he's going to be back or on the move, what have you. So certainly understand that. Jay Wynn, don't do it. Don't do it. It's just a mock draft. All right. All right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we can't have that. Not on our watch, not on our conscience, man. You understand?
Trust me, man. Drew Sanders, man. Y'all gotta trust me on that.
That dude got some special in him, man. He got some special in him.
Yeah.
Playmaker.
All right. And then Timothy asked whether or not Drew Sanders is your Mike outside linebacker. I think you could play him anywhere.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
You can play him anywhere. Right, he has that versatility and that ability. It's an interesting way to put it. You know what I mean? Because of what he offers as far as pass rush is concerned. Right, I think that's an underrated aspect of his game. And so
let me say before you get to what Derek said. Derek, I think that's Ivan Pace Jr. I think that's. Who?
Yeah, that's Parsons Light right there.
Yeah, that's Parsons Light.
Yeah.
I think Jake might be a little bit more onto something in terms of Tremaine Edmonds, but I think Sanders might be. I think he's a more of a polished player.
He's more instinctive to me too.
Yeah, more instinctive than Tremaine Edmonds, for sure. But Sanders got to tighten up on them tackles though, for sure. Got to make sure you make them tackles. Juice don't wait.
I think you up next. Yeah, you got to take over, man.
I know it was on back.
I'm back, man.
Oh, there you go.
It's the cooties, man. The cooties got me. We got Dallas on the clock here.
Yeah, man, we was talking so much I forgot what I was doing, man. We're gonna go receiver, and because I know Dallas. What did Dallas do today? They brought back Vander Esch, and what else did
I think
Dallas
we almost
do?
got that contract perfect.
And Donovan Wilson. Oh yeah. Listen,
in our mock.
We know what we're doing.
free
Go check that
agency
video out,
post.
man.
Yeah,
check
I
that
think we almost
contract.
got that perfect.
The scrolling marquee. Check it out. It'll let you know about the numbers that we thought. Whoo. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, Headley. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna take him off the board. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draft me Cedric Tillman. I'm gonna do the right thing for Dallas.
Ooh.
Get them that dude. A lot of Dallas fans will be upset though because it's not Jalen Hyatt. But I'm gonna take Cedric Tillman here. I do love Rashee Rice. I still love him there, but I'm gonna go with Cedric Tillman here. He just popping out for me. I want to see him there. So,
yep, they did make the trade to acquire
correct
Gilmore.
Correct. So you don't got a force corner. Don't got a force corner. So
this one surprises me. This one surprises me, Drew.
Was that Rashee Rice?
No. I'm gonna show you who I would go with.
Okay.
I don't know about the group at large here. Let us see their comments, but I think I'm going Osiris Torrance with this pick, man.
Oh,
Connor McGovern's out.
Yeah, he's out.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think Dallas Dak is at his best when that offensive line is a position group of strength, and of course you know how we feel about the O line. Considering what's available, I kind of like a number of these guys at 59 if you want to go the receiver route. Of course, that pressing need for corner isn't so pressing anymore with Gilmore in play. So for my money, considering what's on the board, I probably go with Osiris Torrance. But Cedric Tillman, is the pick.
I thought I was gonna get him in the second round, man. You got him in the first, Drew.
Yeah, just take him off the board, man.
All right, the Buffalo Bills on the clock. Another team that has a dearth of draft capital, and quite a few expiring contracts. So, what do you do here in the first round, Headley?
Man, we seen the playoff game against Cincinnati. Both sides of the line of scrimmage got dominated. We got to get stronger and more physical. I know Von Miller's coming back. He just helps that entire defensive line. So I'm gonna go on the offensive line side of things. Click on the offensive tackles real quick. I want to see who's on the board. Anton Harrison, Darnell Wright, Dawan Jones.
Jake said you need to address that pass rush. Stop playing.
You got
the quarterbacks. You got the quarterbacks out there.
Boogie Basham, huh?
They say got them quarterbacks in the AFC, man.
Yeah, get after the quarterback. Get an offensive line later.
That's. I'm just telling you what Jake is suggesting. Miles Murphy slide in.
Jake, I got you, man. I think offensive tackle. There's still a lot of good names left on the board. It's a deep class. Miles Murphy is falling. They need a physical guy. That's what happened in the playoffs against Cincinnati. They ran it down their throat. I think Murphy can help in that run game. Yeah, let's go get Miles Murphy for the Bills at 28.
All right. That takes us to the Cincinnati Bengals, the 29th overall pick. Drew.
Oh, there you go right there.
Yeah. Go ahead and snatch up. Well, hold on. No, we got Deontay Banks. I see him there. Go ahead and snatch up Brian Branch, please. Just go ahead and make the pick. Let's do it. I know they got Dax Hill back there. They're going to need some corner help. He can do a little bit of both. You can get a little bit cute with Brian Branch in terms of his ability. Plays in the slot, can play up top, come down in the box. Could even play outside if you need him to. Not the fastest, but we'll work with it. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get us a Brian Branch, man. Lock it in. I know people were talking about Gardner Johnson going to Cincinnati. Boys got money like that? They're gonna spend money like that? I don't know if that's a thing, but seen a couple people saying maybe that's
on
what
mute.
They do. But.
I'm on mute doing my best impersonation of Drew. It might be me now. I don't even know if it's Drew anymore because I be on mute a lot. The Brian Branch selection makes sense. Obviously, they lose Von Bell. They lose Jesse Bates. It's big money.
Yep.
They did draft Dax Hill in the first round last year. Bring in Brian Branch. You're pretty interchangeable at that point. But there has been rumors about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to Cincinnati. So interesting to see how that ultimately plays out. Derek mentioned he liked Will McDonald a bit better than Miles Murphy. Different player. Different player.
Yeah,
I
different
think
player.
Murphy
It
clearly
was a
is.
run defense. It was a run defense for Buffalo.
Setting that edge. And Murphy has good pass rush upside as well. I don't think he's a slouch in that department. Will McDonald is fun though. He is fun. You know what I mean? And he encapsulates. He and BJ Ojulari encapsulate some of that Von Miller pass rush ability as far as ankle flexion and being able to bend the edge and that lateral quickness. So Will McDonald, I think, is going to come. It depends. It depends, man. I think Will McDonald can go, mid first round or mid second round. I think there's a lot of space there, but some of those pundits who are a bit more plugged in believe Will McDonald is a surefire first round selection. So we shall see. All right, we're not quite out of the first round here. We have the Saints on the clock, and who's making the pick? Is that you? Is that you,
That's
Heavy?
me. Yeah,
All
even.
right.
Yeah, I'm even. Yeah, I'm looking at it, man, and the Saints got depleted along the defensive line in free agency. Lost a lot of guys. So I think we got to replenish that. And I'm looking at two guys, the line of scrimmage discriminator right there, Brian Breezy and Kalaj Cansey. Depends. Just pick your flavor. Do you want the big physical monster, or do you want the guy that's Aaron Donald light, could get after the quarterback? They had the same exact grade on my draft board. Also, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah. The boys just do it different.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Let me see. Let's go with the pass rush upside. Let's go with Kalaj Cansey. Let's get after the quarterback. Put him. You still got Cam Hayward right there, so let's do that. Cameron Jordan, my ball, not Cameron Hayward.
Jordan. There you go.
Yeah, Hayward. That's a.
Yeah, you're in the wrong conference, my guy. You're in the wrong conference. I think it's an interesting selection. I'm not mad at it at all. I think those are both excellent prospects, excellent fits for New Orleans, depending on what you're looking for. Cansey and Brizzy, for that matter, are potential picks for Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia would love to have Cansey. 3 technique after losing Javale Hargrave. Put him next to Jordan Davis. You got problems. This fits. Those are fits for your interior offensive line. So Cansey is a very good pick there. Drew, what do you do at 31? All right. Headley went with Lucas Van Ness. They brought back Brandon Graham. What do you do at 31 here to get yourself back to the Super Bowl and perhaps get over the hump this time around?
Man, just let me just take a peek at linebacker real quick. I just want to see what's there. I like
your boy Noah Sewell.
I knew he was gonna do that, bro. He was gonna bring him up, man. I shouldn't even have went to linebacker. Could you go to D line real quick? I can't pick him here because I know. I mean, you talked about Philadelphia would like Cansey here. I think Thule would be a good fit. I think Brian Brizzy, he's not the best fit, but you would definitely not be able to run the football on this team if you throw him in there at all. I think Brizzy has some pass rush chops. It's not to the level of Cansey in terms of being there in the blink of an eye, but he's going to do it just a different way. Be a penetrator and push back and cause havoc up front. Go to running back real quick. Can I get him right here?
I mean, you could get him. You got Penny until you decided to pay Penny.
They did pay Penny. And then let me take a peek at.
You want me to look at all the positions? You want me to look at all of them? You sure?
No, I'm good.
Sure?
Just go
about halfway through.
About
halfway through.
Go to offensive tackle. I just want to take a peek, man.
Mailata. Lane Johnson.
Go to my interior. Go to my interior O-line, please.
Isaac Suamalu is a free agent.
All right, so let's assume they're not signing him back, and they're going to leave us. They're going to let the rich get richer, and we're going to go ahead and get Osiris Torrance. Lock it in.
Lock it in. All right.
I planned that, bro. I planned that.
Did you?
Yeah, I mapped it out.
All right. Kansas City, Hadley.
This is interesting here. I've been kind of like plugging him in here all mock draft season, and it's a need for these boys, man. And we're gonna go wide receiver Jalen Hyatt. We talked about him at Tennessee, how he was schemed open. You know who could probably scheme him open on the next level? It's Andy Reid. That's the answer. So yeah, Patrick Mahomes needs a receiver. So let's go with Jalen Hyatt, the big play receiver.
All right. I just want to get to Timmy's comment. We were talking a little bit about, Will McDonald versus Murphy, and that is a point. That is going to be a point of contention with some teams. They may depress McDonald's grade a bit because he is an older player. Didn't get a chance to see him in Senior Bowl, and he was very effective. Plays like a young guy. A lot of energy. That's a young man right there. You know what I mean? But yes, he is a bit of an older player. Completely played out of position or from a scheme perspective at Iowa State. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. Pittsburgh on the clock. First round, Drew selected Peter Skoronski for the Steelers. What do you follow that up with, Drew?
Am I on mute? Nope, I'm not on mute. I just want to make sure. I could go corner here. I know that they signed Patrick Peterson, but I mean, he might be long in the tooth. They still need a corner regardless, although they have him on the squad. Can I look at my corners real quick? Can I take a peek at Deontay Banks?
A little bit of a slide with the corners, man. After that top three, yeah.
Yeah, normally them guys have gone off the board, man. I'm going to do the right thing here, man. I'm going to go – people are going to be mad, bro. They're going to be upset. But I'm going to go Cam Smith, bro. Grab me Cam Smith, South Carolina cornerback.
Why they going to be upset? Why?
Because they see Keely Ringo on the board. People fall in love with the speed, the size. He's not physical. And I know, sometimes it's about, a player being, how do they fit the team that they're matching up with, right? Or they're going to be with, right? And Keely Ringo, I don't think is a Pittsburgh Steeler. I think Cam Smith is a Pittsburgh Steeler in terms of his physicality and the way he plays the cornerback position. So,
you gotta ask Headley and Drew. You gotta ask them. What's with the slide, fellas?
I just better players. I feel there's better players. I know he tested like a freak.
The tape is better. Yeah, there are a few players with better tape. Guys. But to your point, Timothy, it's that athletic testing. There's going to be a position coach that said, "Look, that Clay, let me get it. Yeah. Let me work with him." Right? Some of those measurables, some of those things that you cannot teach, he already possesses. So I don't anticipate him getting out of the first round, and I imagine he'll come off the board here relatively soon. We will ultimately see. Headley, Jake asked, man, you passed up on that Jawan Taylor Darnell Wright duo. What's good with that, man?
You fell in love with the flash and dash.
Yeah, I fell in love with the flash for real. But I'm gonna shore that up in second round if I get to pick with the Chiefs. Definitely.
I think Kansas City, after the Super Bowl loss to the Bucks, really just determined, you know what, Andy Reid, for most of his coaching career, didn't have necessarily a receiver one, right, on the perimeter. He's always kind of featured the tight end, and then, of course, there was a bunch of guys. Running backs were heavily involved in the passing game, and then there's some guys that he would scheme open, alignment, pre-snap motion, so on and so forth. Then got a little T.O., of course. They went off and didn't quite get over the top, but certainly made a Super Bowl run. Then you got a Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Just different kind of speed out there. But they realized that, Andy Reid, for most of his career, has been kind of an inside-out type of coach. And this past season, they were still very effective. I mean, they were the top scoring offense. They were the most productive offense in the NFL without a legitimate receiver one. Now, you can consider Kelsey the receiver one. He is the linchpin of that passing game. But in terms of a guy on the perimeter, I think, too, that they would prioritize the tackle. That being said, the tackles are sliding a little bit here, right? Anton Harrison, Darnell Wright, Dawan Jones. Then you get to Bergeron, Duncan, Blake Freeland. These are all guys that I think have an opportunity to start sooner rather than later. A couple guys are going to be day one starters. I imagine all of these players will start by year two at a minimum. So interesting decision. I certainly understand it off top. You know what I mean? Now, if you're going into earlier parts of the draft cycle before we knew who was going to be retained, who was going to be on the move, I certainly understood Jalen Hyatt. But considering that they lost Wiley as well as Orlando Brown, of course, they signed Jawan Taylor, I think they get that tackle on that rookie contract. That's just my thought. But Hyatt, certainly, Andy Reid's going to make the most of him. There's no question about that. All right. We have the Houston Texans on the clock here. Headley making your third pick for the Texans. You went Stroud, Nolan Smith with the first 2 picks. What direction do you go in here?
Yeah, now we should go get that pass catcher for CJ Stroud. It could be a tight end or wide receiver. I think tight end is the highest on the board. Dalton Kincaid right there. Pass catcher, man. He's probably the best pass catcher in the class. I'm surprised he lasted this long. He might be a first-round guy, but in our mock draft, he goes 34 to the Houston Texans. Just a dynamic weapon for CJ Stroud to kind of develop with. Like a Mahomes Kelsey. We could do a Stroud Kincaid in Houston.
Yeah, I love Kincaid. That is definitely one of my guys in this particular class, and I think you get Kincaid in the first 35 picks. That's why I see him coming off the board within that first 35 picks. If you get him in the second round, the actual second round, you're getting him at value. So, excellent pick to add to Houston, young quarterback there. Drew, what do you do with the Arizona Cardinals? First time around, Jalen Carter. This time around, do you go back to the defense? Do you help Kyler Murray out? What do you do?
We're going to go back to the defense, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and draft. Go ahead and draft that cornerback we talked about earlier, and Deontay Banks. I think that was one of Bucky's. Was that his cornerback one in his mock?
I think he might have been the first corner off the board in his mock.
Yeah,
his very first mock. I think he might have been the first. Oh no, Spoon was.
Spoon. Oh yeah, it was Spoon.
And then I think Banks was probably the first. Bucky was the first analyst that I believe I saw have
had him in the first round.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, he's a freakish athlete, as spoke about earlier, and also he tracks the ball real well, man. To locate the football, to knock it away, to get out of the hands of the receiver. So can turn and run well. So yeah, man. It's called qualities you want from a cornerback, and he does that very well. I know people still, why is Ringo still on the board? Bro, he just missing something, man.
I'm gonna tell you why Ringo's still on the board. Headley and Drew don't like Ringo.
That's what it is.
They don't like Ringo. That's what it is. That's why he's still on the board.
I know there are scouts out there and general managers are gonna say we don't pay a corner to tackle, bro. I'm not asking you to go out there and risk your life to go tackle the 230-pound running back coming around the corner, bro. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is get off the block. That's what I'm asking you to do. Don't be out there playing patty cake, bro, so you can avoid, get off the block. You're too big and you're too fast to not get off the block. If you don't make the tackle,
I'm going to the league, man. Business decisions.
You don't make the tackle, cool, bro. But I need some effort to get off the block, bro. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. Right? That's it.
That's all he's asking for.
I'm not asking for much, bro. Simple.
All right, Henley, that puts you back on the clock with the Colts. You went Will Levis as opposed to Anthony Richardson. What do you follow that up with at 36?
Well, Brian Brzee is the best player available on my board. Mm-hmm. Looking at my board right here, it kind of, put him next to Forrest Buckner. I guess that kind of makes some sense there. But something wants me to capitalize. We just traded Gilmore. It looks like there's a little run on corners. There's a guy that I love at the cornerback position named Emmanuel Forbes. Some people think he's undersized at 166, but the ball skills, the ability to cover, it's just tremendous. He plays it like a wide receiver at all times. Let me go Emmanuel Forbes. It might not be the responsible decision because Brise is my top player available, but I went with need right here with Gilmore out of Indianapolis.
Okay. All right. The Rams making their first appearance in this mock draft. Drew, the Rams obviously are going through a bit of a transition, to put it lightly.
Sure.
Of course, they sold their soul for the Lombardi. It paid off, but that check has come due. That payment has come due, right? So we're expecting a very different looking roster, which has been really top heavy over the last several seasons. They're going to have to continue to draft well. They're going to have to continue to draft well and hit on players in day 2 and day 3. What do you do here with the 37th overall pick for the Rams?
Can I trade down, bro? Get me more picks?
No,
I can't do that.
You can't. Although they probably should, you cannot.
I'm just going to take the best player available. Just grab Brian Brise and let's move on.
Let's call it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Seattle would have loved the Brise. That is house money. Brazi's available 38 overall. Will Anderson, John Michael Schmitz, both of you have made a selection for Seattle. We got 2 more here in our 2-round mock draft, head-to-head mock draft duel. Headley, what do you do here in the second round for Seattle?
Let me see D tackle real quick. Drew took my BZ. Mozzie Smith, Siaka Ika, Thule. Oh, I like all three of those guys. I do like all three of those guys, but I'm gonna go get the big man because I like what they did with Draymond Jones. You brought in Jaron Reed. I'm gonna go Mozzie. Big man could be Ika too. Let me go Siaka Ika, man. Let me switch it up. I'm gonna go Ika.
Switch it up.
I have him graded a little higher on my board. We're gonna plug the middle. We're gonna stop the run. We live, man, and we're going off the top. So I'm gonna go Siaka Ika right there, the big man from Baylor.
Yeah, Cullen, I certainly understand where you're coming from. It makes sense. I wouldn't rule it out at 53. Steve Avila, Cody March. I think you can probably get one of those guys or along those lines, at 53. So certainly understand it. So you're going Siaka Ika. You're getting big up front here, Headley, for Seattle. You want to clear the path for the second level defenders. Certainly understand that. Drew, you're back on the board here with the Las Vegas Raiders. You went
done all right.
Done all right. I'm trying to give a little context of what's going on, man.
I'm running up to the podium, bro.
All right. You just knocked me over. You just ran through me.
Done all right.
Stiff arm me. Yeah, done all right, man. My boy Anton Harrison, y'all boys tripping, man.
I see him.
Y'all tripping.
I see him. But done all right's a guaranteed right tackle for me, so I'm gonna lock him in. While we got Colton Miller over at the left tackle to protect Jimmy Garoppolo and the New England offense that we're going to run over here. Ridiculous. Right.
Carolina back on the clock here. Drew took Bryce Young at the very top. Heather, what do you do to follow up in the second? You receiver? You can get some weapons for the man. I don't know.
We need weapons. We need weapons. The defensive set. I'm a Falcons fan, but I'm a Panther GM right here. So the defense is set. Love their defense. They're young. We got Bryce Young early. Josh Downs is the next best guy on my board. I'm a big fan of Josh Downs. Let's get him there. He can get open early and often for Bryce Young. I like that combination there in Carolina. No DJ Moore. This is DJ Moore replacement. Josh Downs. Oh, mute. You on mute.
Telling you, bro. It's me now, bro. I'm the man now. I'm the mute guy, man. Josh Downs doesn't have to go far. Playing his college ball at North Carolina. Now he teams up with Bryce Young. Saints went Kalijah Kancey in the first round. All right. They have a pretty early second round pick here, Drew. What do you do?
Can we? You already got Kalijah Kancey. They need D tackle. We might have to double up on D tackle.
Double up.
Yeah, we might have to double up. I hate to pass on Keely Ringo here. I know,
but you don't like him though. But you don't like him.
I don't like him. But the value here is nice though to grab him here.
So who slides inside then? If you got Paul Adebo, Marshawn Lattimore, who slides inside?
Probably Lattimore. To be honest with you, or we could play matchups because I think Ringo can play inside as well. So it's either one of the two, and we just play matchups based on who we're playing. So yeah, I want to go Mozzie, but I can't pass up on Ringo here. So I'm gonna go Ringo, man. Let's do the right thing.
All right, Tennessee on the clock. Headley. Drew selected Jackson Smith and Jigma in the first round. Do you double down? I mean, you got to go Anton Harrison now, right? You got to.
Oh yeah.
I do it.
No, you got to, man. You got to do the right thing, man. I know you brought in Andre Dillard, but you need another tackle. Let's go Anton Harrison. We're still the Tennessee Titans. We still like to run the football. We got big boy football, so let's get the offensive line right. Let's go Anton Harrison here for Tennessee.
All right, Drew, you are making the sole pick in this 2-round mock draft for the Cleveland Browns. First selection here for those Browns. I like the free agent acquisition of Okonkwo from Houston, right? I believe he started his career in Los Angeles with the Rams. He's a good complement to Myles Garrett. I think he's actually going to be a better complement than Jadeveon Clowney was. So interested to see that, and on a relatively inexpensive deal as well. So a nice signing, nice shrewd signing there. What do you do here in the draft?
They brought in Dalvin Tomlinson as well. to shore up what they got going on there. But this team, bro. I never really liked the receivers for this football team.
Peoples Jones, and
I mean,
Cooper had a sneaky good season. They had a sneaky good season.
So I don't know where did I see or hear that. I don't know. What was I listening to? I don't know what I was listening to. But they were talking about the Browns might be going to just throwing the football around the yard versus running the football.
Yeah, I heard that. I
don't know where I heard it.
I heard it. They traded Nick Chubb. I heard they traded Nick Chubb.
Nonsense.
That is nonsense.
For what?
Listen.
Be cute.
Trade Nick Chubb for what? To do what?
They don't want to pay him. They know
to
the money
throw it around the yard. To throw it around the yard.
But they gave him an extension. They gave him an extension not too long ago, and it was relatively team friendly.
Yeah.
For that effective of a runner, come on, man.
That makes no sense. Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. There's people out there guessing. Let me look at all real quick. Got Darnell, Gibbs, Smazzy. I think I might have to go. Let me take one peek. And I know this signed your boy you was talking about. I'm gonna go. Let me go Will McDonald, man.
I love it, Drew. That's what I was targeting. Yeah,
you don't have to rush him in there. He can be on passing down. He's predictable. Yeah. Let him do his thing. Let him work, and we'll work the other stuff out. Get him stronger in the run game and all of that. So
absolutely perfect situation. Like you said, you don't necessarily have to play him every down. You can let him do what he does best initially, which is get after the passer in obvious passing situations. Continue to work on his frame, get him stronger, get him in that weight room nutrition. And get him ready to be an every down player. I really like that pick there, Drew. The Jets. Drew said, to hell with these rankings. I'm going BJ Ojulari. I believe in my guy. Took him with the 13th overall pick. Headley, what do you do here in the second round here for the Jets? The Aaron Rodgers-led Jets. I'm calling it. I mean, I don't think it's a well-kept secret at this juncture, but, Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. They got Lazard. They probably going to get Randall Cobb. They're probably going to bring over Mercedes Lewis. Go get an Odell Beckham. Let's get everybody on the list for Aaron Rodgers. So we got to go in the trenches here. It's either offensive line or defensive line. You got Day1 Jones on the board. Let me see the offensive line, interior and tackles. You got Cody Moss, Steven Villa, Tippmann, and then let me see the offensive tackles. You got Day1 Jones. That'll be the next guy on my board. I'm just thinking about fit for Day1 Jones. I'm not sure he's good
outside
for that
zone is.
So let's go defensive tackle. I think Southern rankings, they lost him. We're going to get Adetomwe, Adebawore, Northwestern. We're going to get after the quarterback. We got BJ Ojulari on the line with Quentin Williams, Carl Lawson coming back. Ooh. Yeah, let's get that front four right.
Are they keeping Carl Lawson? I wasn't sure
about
that.
He's still on the roster, so they drafted Jermaine Johnson as well last year. So they got guys. They got guys coming.
They do. I like the fit though. I like the fit. He can do what he does best as a 3 technique. I think in next to Quentin Williams, you could do a couple different things with him. Quentin Williams can be your 3 technique as well. You can play over the center. Quentin Williams can do it all. So, that's a nice one right there. What's wrong, Jake? Took your guy?
Who you wanted?
It's probably Adebawore.
Probably Green Bay was coming.
Probably.
Yeah. He gone.
All right. Drew, you got an opportunity here to mess the Falcons up, man. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna do the right thing, man. Can you slide over the receiver real quick? You gotta get them boys some help. Them boys looking anemic out there at the receiver position. Yeah, you already know. Go ahead, do it, man. Ain't no discussion. Go ahead and grab my guy, Rasheed Rice.
Mr. Rice.
Let's go, man. Let's get it.
Green Bay.
Physical out here.
Yep. That's what it was. Crushed him.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm picking for the Packers, though.
Chris Smith time?
Chris Smith.
Said it.
Sidney Brown, Chris Smith, Jordan Battle. Let's do it for Jake, man. Let's go Christopher Smith.
Chris Smith.
This is Jake's guy, man. The instincts in the passing game. He comes up like a missile. He got slight teleporting abilities. I know he didn't test well at the combine, but on tape, man, on the film, on the field when it counts, he flies around and gets everywhere. So Christopher Smith.
Jake.
I did it for you.
Jay looking for that beef. Jay looking for that beef up front, man. Stop the run. Stop the run. I think to Jake's point though, you probably go Mozzie Smith. You could probably get Chris Smith around later because he didn't test great. If from a grade perspective, from his film, I agree, Headley. He's worth that 45th, 46th overall pick, 48th, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I can't see very well. But considering that he didn't necessarily test great as an athlete, I think he's going to be able to come at a bit of a discount. So I like the pick, but certainly might be able to get him around later, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. Yes, he is. Absolutely. And that is, of course, Jake's guy. Drew, you got the New England Patriots. Headley went with Jordan Addison in the first round, helped them on the perimeter, desperately need to get better in the passing game. What do you follow up that with in the second round?
Oh, man. I'm really thinking about you got Jordan Addison. Okay, so you got him a weapon. Okay, you did say that. I wasn't listening.
I just
you
said
did.
See, this is what I'm talking about, bro.
These are the
things I be talking about, man.
They did trade away Jonnu Smith. So I could see them going tight end here. You know how New England loves their tight ends, but I think we got to go offensive tackle. So but they need a right tackle, not a left tackle, if I'm not mistaken.
Daquan Jones is built for that, man. He built for what they do in New England.
Yeah, and they already got your boy on the other side. So let's go ahead and get extra nasty at the ends. Go ahead and get me Daquan Jones. Bring him in. We're gonna do the right thing for what's his name? What's the quarterback's name? I forgot his name. Matt
Jones. Matt Jones.
Matty. Yeah. Matty Jones. Be doing dirty stuff out there. Go ahead.
All right, Headley, you got the Commanders on the clock here. Joey Porter in the first round.
Yeah, I'm looking at my board right now. Oh man, is it crazy? Is it crazy to look at my guy Hendon Hooker here at quarterback?
No,
they say
it was a thought.
Guy.
It was a thought for me as well. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy.
I know they need offensive line help. Let's see what the offensive line might be responsible here. Cody Moss here, Steve Avila. Oh yeah. Let's go get Steve Avila from TCU.
Oh yeah,
this is one of our draft crushes. This the physicality he plays with. He's like a phone booth guard, but he can also move. But I say phone booth because you're not really getting past him or through him. He's just solid on the interior.
Yeah, man. I agree. Someone fired the Patriots Jones tracker because he's got to be at least 5 now. You're right about that.
Mac Jones. Yeah,
you're right about that. Let's see. Derek said Daquan Jones is so grabby, man. What do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't think he's grabby. I think he's nasty. I don't think he's grabby.
Think you just finish it out here.
Yeah, just finish it out here. Just putting people into the ground.
Mortal Kombat out here. Yeah. I think he actually moves very well for a man his size. It's uncanny. 6'8", it's uncanny, and I don't know that it's that the grabbiness is so pronounced that it can't be cleaned up, but something to keep an eye on there. Jake with the 411 Arden Key to Tennessee. I actually like that quite a bit. I think Arden Key is a sneaky free agent acquisition wherever he landed because he's starting to kind of come into his own.
He was in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
I thought Jackson was going to retain him, man.
I thought so too. Yeah. I thought so too. I wonder what the numbers are on that particular deal. And great draft for Washington so far, right? Joey Porter, Steve Avila. Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. Like what you guys have done thus far. Absolutely. Good football players here. Detroit, Tyree Wilson, Trent Simpson, your first 2 selections. We got 2 picks here in the second round. 49th overall, Drew. What do you do with these Lions? I think this is your first selection for them. Headley made the first 2 picks. So.
Yeah. Can we go tight end? Let me look over there. I think I'm gonna go tight end. There should be some guys.
Yeah.
They did it. They did it.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice deal right there.
That is.
I think
thought they
just
made
a nice addition right there.
Detroit, didn't they just sign Josh Oliver tight end?
They did.
No, I'm thinking. Okay.
No, there was.
No, I don't think Minnesota. That's Minnesota.
Minnesota added Oliver. NFC North.
Yeah, but Josh Oliver ain't Darnell Washington.
No, you're right.
Either way, Darnell Washington slide him in, helps with the offensive line. Not that the offensive line needs any help, but
Love it.
We might actually be able to see him, Darnell Washington, one-on-one with these linebackers. That might look crazy, man. See him out in that open field.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Hawkinson and Oliver together. I forgot Hawkinson got traded. He's now in Minnesota.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Pittsburgh, 50th overall pick, Headley.
Man, I know you got Peter Skoronski, but I'm looking at the offensive line again. I think we could double down on Pittsburgh at the offensive line position. Skoronski. I like maybe a Cody Moss here. I think he fits the physical, like what the Steelers like. They like nasty guys. We want to get Najee Harris to 4 yards per carry. I'm the leader of that campaign right there. So we're gonna get Skoronski and Cody Moss right there on the offensive line, and we're gonna get him to 4 yards per carry.
Drew did this on purpose.
I did. I mapped it out, bro.
So
I
you
really
can draft.
did.
So you can draft for the Bucks.
I really did.
I don't believe him. I think he knew what he was doing, talking about I'll draft the odds. All right, you're back on the clock here for the Bucks, Drew.
Appreciate it. We got Anthony Richardson. We got the quarterback of the future. And let me check out cornerback. Let me just see what's there. Clark Phillips, Brents. No, we won't go corner. Can we go? Let me go D-line. Let me just see what's there. Got Mozzie. Mozzie would be fantastic for them boys on the inside. Let me go edge.
Your boy Nunez Roach is out the door, right?
Yeah, he's gone. I was hurt on that one. And then go to linebacker real quick.
All right, I'm just gonna go to every position. Here we go again. All right. Safeties. Here are the safeties, Drew. Here are the interior. You lost Shaq Mason. Here are your interior offensive linemen.
We good.
Right.
We got on the inside. They good. We good.
Tackle. Who's playing left tackle?
They're gonna move. The talk is they're supposed to move Tristan Wirfs to left tackle. They're gonna
figure out.
Jensen's coming back at center. Right tackle will be Gadecki, who played guard. He was terrible at it. Hansy is going to come in, who played center, is going to move to one of the guard positions. So they kind of got it squared away. Plus they re-signed Aaron Stinney just earlier, so who's actually pretty good. So I don't think offensive line is a must here. So let me do the right thing, man. Go to edge and let me get Felix how do you say it? Anaduke Uzama. Uzama, my bad. See, I butchered it.
Could be. Miami Dolphins.
Drew. Wait. Drew.
I need to speak on my guy?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know,
Come on, man.
Okay, my bad. Good.
Your analysis, man.
You had us look at every position and pick that guy.
Pick him and then just move on. Hey, man, listen. I like him here for he has a super high motor. He makes a lot of plays because he just doesn't quit. Good hands. He's actually very, very intelligent. They had him up at the combine. They were asking him questions in terms of, different moves, and he was breaking down the moves, and he was talking about how those moves, what those moves would work against, and he was kind of talking about his game plan in terms of, what he does in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, leading up to the fourth quarter. Kind of, he has a plan from first quarter to fourth quarter. So I think he'd be a good fit for the Bucs and what they want to do, and they need more. They need D-line across the board, in general, because they lost some pieces. So yeah, I like the fit.
All right, and there's some rumblings that he may find his way into the first round.
Yep.
So very good value, quality value there. Helly, do you want me to just make the pick right here for you?
I know I'm at a conundrum because I've been saying Jahmyr Gibbs to the Dolphins, the running back position. That's probably what I would do, but I think the more responsible thing maybe it's the offensive line. I know you got Bergeron, Jalen Duncan out there, Titman, Weipler. You know what? I'm gonna get sexy, bro. Let's go, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back. I know you re-signed Mostert, but Jahmyr Gibbs to me I think he's the second best offensive skill player in the class behind Bijan Robinson. I think he's better than any receivers and any tight end. So let me go get Jahmyr Gibbs in that Miami offense, that zone read offense, that Mike McDaniels offense. This Dolphins roster with Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, it's super explosive. We just got to keep Tua healthy. So offensive line is a position I'm going to target later on for the Miami Dolphins, and then that defense with Jalen Ramsey, new addition over there, is really sticky. So I think they might have one of the best rosters in the entire NFL.
Thank you, Addy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Mostert isn't exactly the beacon of health, the model of health, right? You know what I mean? And it just seems like players that play in that particular system at the running back position, they get nicks and bruises, man. They miss some time. You know what I mean? And Gibbs is just a superior player. I love it. I love the fit as well as the value that you're getting in Gibbs because, as you mentioned, Headley, he's one of the better offensive prospects in this entire class. So, yeah, that creates a lot of consternation for the opposing defense. You got to deal with Waddle's speed. You got to deal with Tyreek Hill's speed. And then here comes Gibbs at you, who is a very polished receiver as well. I don't think people realize, or rather, he's not getting as much credit for that part of his game. And I think it's a huge part of his game. So real true dual threat out of the backfield. And he got the juice, man. We're talking legit 4.3 speed. All right. Cullen says Seahawks have Jack Campbell right there for him. Drew, what do you say?
Got who? Jack Campbell? That's what he said? Jack Campbell?
Jack Campbell. That's what he said. Jack Campbell.
I was looking at receiver, man. Go to receiver real quick, man. Let me just take. All right, no, we can't do that.
Nope.
Butte looked like a guy they would draft, just not right there. Yeah, we can.
I don't know about that guy, man.
Who, Butte?
I think Butte might end up in the third day, man.
No. I'm not saying right here. I'm saying he's gonna fall. Where he gonna fall? Who knows?
I gotta give Drew a hard time, man.
You do, man. You do.
I give Drew a hard time. That's all. That's just part of the program.
It's the nature of
part of the program.
All right, man. We'll go Jack Campbell. I'll do the right thing. We'll go Jack Campbell. That is a studious, instinctual, technically sound linebacker. Probably the most technically sound linebacker in the draft because he's not overly athletic. He's not a Drew Sanders. He's not a Trenton Simpson. Not a Noah Sewell. He just kind of does everything right, and he's where he's supposed to be. And that's what you want from your linebacker outside of instincts. So, especially middle linebacker.
All right. So the top three off the ball linebackers now off the board. Chicago on the clock. 2 second-round picks here, Headley.
Yeah, they just traded for DJ Moore. They also traded for Chase Claypool, which might have been a bad trade when you look at it. It's essentially a first-round pick, 32nd pick in the draft. But this defense, I like what they're doing on the defense. I know losing Roquan Smith was a big loss to sign Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, giving that money, added an extra second-round pick, like you said earlier. But I kind of want to. I'll try to get the offensive line better, man. You want to run the football. You brought in. You got Khalil Herbert. Oh, they need a running back too. They lost David Montgomery, huh?
Got decisions, bro.
We got 2 picks, man. What's the offensive line look like, Juice?
Yep.
Interior. Duncan, Bergeron, Titman, White. There's a lot of centers right there.
Yep.
Decisions, bro.
Decisions for real. Yeah, so you drafted Paris Johnson already. See, I would have probably went tackle. Let me see the running backs. My guy's still on the board.
AJ.
Yeah, he's still on the board.
Here we go.
He's still on the board. What's the best players available, man? I'm like you now. I got you clicking everything.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah, it's getting real right now.
It's getting kind of hectic. You know that song?
Yeah.
It's getting.
Keon White.
So of course, no Jalen Carter, no Will Anderson. We kind of had the Bears pegged for one of those 2 players. There's certainly needs. They've done a good job, I think, at the second level of the defense, but up front, they certainly could use an injection of some more talent.
I'm looking at Mozzie Smith. Yeah. When you brought in DeMarcus Walker, he's more of a pass rushing from the middle. I kind of would like to see him on the D tackle. I know that they kind of put him at edge. We always wanted to see him from D tackle out of FSU. So let's get a big nasty guy next to him, man. Trenches. We go Mozzie Smith. I'm looking for a running back or later on in that class.
All right. The Chargers are on the clock here, Drew. Bijan Robinson, Headley pulled the trigger in the first round. Obviously, a lot of rumors, a lot of smoke around Austin Eckler, considering that the Chargers and Eckler weren't able to get an extension completed. Eckler was given permission to seek a trade. We'll see how that ultimately turns out. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you get Bijan, obviously that mitigates the loss of Eckler. No question about it. I just think you can figure out the Eckler situation and get better somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
I understand the pick, Headley. It makes sense considering that there is a legitimate possibility Eckler isn't there. But when you think about the sheer production that Eckler has given you year after year after year after year at a discount, right? It may not necessarily be the undrafted, rookie free agent discount anymore, but certainly, he's not up there with the likes of Christian McCaffrey, and Alvin Kamara as far as what they're being paid. I wonder what he's asking, because that offense, as much as I like Justin Herbert's skill set, that offense is so Eckler dependent. People just don't really grasp how Eckler centric that offense is. He means everything to that offense. So it'll be interesting to see ultimately how that whole situation plays out. But in this scenario, we got Bijan Robinson, so we're okay. We're okay at the running back position. What do you do here, Drew?
Can you look at corner real quick? I just want to see what they got. Clark for us. All right, so we still good. All right, I'm gonna go
magical. Yeah, man. He gave Siaki Ika instead of Mazi, man. Derek still hurt. Still hurt about that one.
Let me go to tight end. I think we're gonna grab Luke Musgrave, who I think is probably the next best. Because you got Michael Myers, got Dalton Kincaid. When you talk about a receiving threat, I think he might be the second best in this draft. Okay. And he has some speed at the position, and that's something they need a tight end in general. So yeah, let's go ahead and get us a Luke Musgrave, who's coming off an injury. Yeah. And he played well in the Senior Bowl. So yeah,
still trying to get healthy here. All right, Detroit. Last pick here in the first two rounds. Tyree Wilson, Trenton Simpson, Darnell Washington.
That's
hell of a haul for these upstart Lions. What do you do at 56, Hadley?
So you got the edge, first level. You got the linebacker, second level. Tight end for Detroit also. Still missing. Get another running back next to Swift. Oh, they brought in. No. Jamal Williams is still a free agent. Oh, they brought in Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery. Yeah. So the offensive line is pretty good. Man, another wide receiver. I know Jameson Williams is coming off the injury. You got St. Brown. Let me see the wide receiver.
Didn't they acquire a receiver? They traded for Cortland Sutton.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay. I missed that.
You missed that one?
I missed that one. Yeah, y'all didn't put it in the chat.
Oh, my bad.
Put it in the chat. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Portland Sutton.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one?
I didn't see that one. No.
That was today? Let's go to let's go to all real quick. I might get him another guy on the defensive line. You look at Keon White. You got Tyree Wilson. How about D tackles? What's the D tackles look like? Thule. I like the versatility in Thule. Is he an edge? Is he a D tackle? Is he an off the ball linebacker? I think he's a versatile chess piece. Yeah, I like the Thule. Yeah, I like that guy right there for Detroit. I was gonna say his last name. Drew, you got me? Thule Paludu. I used to be able to say this, man.
Tulapalotu.
That wasn't bad, man. That wasn't bad. We have done much worse. We have done much worse.
Terrible. Namely
butchering names. Absolutely. So Tuli Pulotu to the line. I like it, man. This is impressive. This is very impressive for the Lions. Jacksonville now on the clock.
Yeah, Drew.
I'm just gonna go through all the positions for you so you can see them
real quick. I appreciate you, man, looking out for me.
See that? A little bit of everything.
Yeah, go back to edge.
Edge.
Yeah, damn, we got to get a corner though. We got to get a corner, but you just lost Arden Key. I think Keon White would do well for these guys. I think Isaiah Folsky would do well. I think Derek Hall. But I gotta get a corner, man. Let me do the right thing. Let's get a corner.
Some good corners still on the board too.
There is.
A lot of good corners on the board. Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Now let's go back to edge. Let's go back to edge. Let me do the right thing. It's edge, bro. Nah, it's corner. Nah, it's edge. It's good. You good. Go ahead and grab Keon White, one of DJ's Daniel Jeremiah's guys. We're not high on him. That's why he fell for us. But he has some tools, or excuse me, he has some traits that you like, and I think that he can be molded within this Jacksonville defense with them losing Arden Key. So I think he could be the replacement there. Just got to mold that clay, get it right. He can play inside, outside. You can do a bunch of things with him. So I'm assuming you get him right.
Got to get him right.
Got to get him right.
Keon White is the pick. All right. I may be wrong about that Cortland Sutton situation. So that may be a faux pas.
Oh man,
some bad information.
Man, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah,
oh man,
It's all good.
I might have hurt you on that one, bro.
Nah, they got Jameson Williams, St. Brown. I think we made the right decision.
Yeah.
I think we made the right decision.
Yeah. All right. Giants on the clock here.
We're going straight to the wide receiver position. Passed up on it. The Giants fans, they hated me for that, but you got Marvin Mims there, Nathaniel Dell. Also, I know they need help on the offensive line. Also, let me check out the interior offensive line. Yeah, it's all those centers again, right? They do definitely need a center. So let's go. Joe Tippmann, the center from Wisconsin. It's a Wisconsin offensive lineman. You know what those guys bring, physical, and he also can help you pass protect. We need a receiver, man. We're calling Odell Beckham the line, man. Let's go, Odell. We're going to bring it back to New York, man.
All right.
Cedric Tillman. You got my Cedric.
I did get you Cedric. It's too late.
Yeah, you targeted him late. Drew wasn't playing. Drew got him in the first round.
You got that C+. You see, you got that C+.
Yeah, they don't like him, though. They don't like because he went over Jalen Hyatt. That was the problem, but it's fine. Go ahead and go to interior O-line if you don't mind, please. I know we talked about it earlier. Ooh. Can I wait a little bit longer? Not that we pick it in the third round or anything.
Who's under Braden Daniels? Who's under him?
John Gaines, McClendon Curtis, Ricky Stromberg, Alex Forsythe.
We can wait.
You can wait on all that.
We can wait,
Look at tight end real quick. Just want to see what's there. Sam Laporta wouldn't be a bad
big fan of Laporta.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad ad there. We talk about the offensive line.
Bergeron. Bergeron can slide inside.
Do I really want him there, though? If I like him there. Let me think. Let me see. All right, so we're going to go.
Well, it's taking long out here.
Man.
I think wrong. Yeah, it's tough out here, man. This ain't my team. Dallas ain't my team. Juice? No?
And
No? All right.
Yeah.
No. Go back to D-line real quick. I just want to see what's there. Keon Benton. I like him for Dallas there. We got Carl Brooks. I like him. They got Carl Brooks real low. They hate on him. Got Gavin Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter really blew up the combine.
Let me go. He did blow up the combine. Dang, Drew.
Yo, this guy just stalling, bro. Just stalling, bro.
It's between two positions. For me, it's tight end or it's D tackle.
Got Jake Ferguson on the rosters.
All right, no, you know what? Let's go. Keon Benton, man. Let's do it. Pull the trigger, man. All that for
man.
Not at 6.
I don't even want to hear the analysis. I don't even want to hear it. move on to Buffalo, man.
Nice, explosive, off the line, good hands, gets penetration.
I think it's an area. I think it's an area Dallas should address.
Yeah,
They've been trying to figure that interior pass rush out for quite some time.
right.
And Benton certainly can be a difference maker there. So makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the offensive line. I was thinking about it with the 28th pick. I think Jake, talked me into the Miles Murphy, which is a great pick right there. So, we talked about that Bengals game. We always go back to that Bengals game, and it was both sides of the line of scrimmage there. The Bills need to be able to run the ball in December, January when it gets colder. Are they going to find a running back? I'm hearing a Dalvin Cook rumblings. I would love him over there.
Chill.
Let's go Matthew Bergeron from Syracuse. You got versatility along the offensive line. You could play tackle, guard. And I think the Bills, man, they just need some help on the offensive line. So Bergeron's the pick.
Bergeron, the selection. That takes us to Cincinnati. First round, Brian Branch. Second round, who you like, Drew?
I would like to. I'm thinking about what we did in our previous free agency / mock draft video. I'm thinking about going tackle, man, and sliding people around so we can get this thing right. But I'm not gonna do that, bro.
Okay,
you gonna do it?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
They re-up with Jermaine Pratt.
They did re-up with him, but we weren't close on that contract. They actually got him for a lower price.
Yeah. I think if Pratt had hit the open market, it would have been closer to the Bobby Okereke deal. So yeah,
that's true. Go ahead and snatch up. Where is he? Sam Laporta. Go ahead and snatch him up, man. Line him up. Iowa, let's call him Iowa tackle. Iowa tight end who can do the inline and can do out wide or in the slot. He's a good mover out in space, but he's kind of he can do both well, I would say. He's not a Michael Mayer or anything like that, not that kind of player, but he's good enough to play both inside, outside, and outside. So
inside, outside, and outside.
Yeah, all the outside.
Inside, inline.
Okay.
Outside, but not all the way outside.
Flex, but not necessarily out there.
Big slot, can play the big slot. Yeah, do all that. You got me.
All right. Chicago. Here, Headley.
So we got trenches, CPG on special. That's how we like to roll. So the Bears improved there. So let's just go get something sexy, man. And we're gonna go to my RB3, Devin A-Chain. Not getting much love, man, but CPGM Headley and over here at CPGM, we've been bigging this guy up, man. The explosiveness. He's a football player with track speed. He ran that 4.3 at the combine. Probably could have been 4.2. You lost David Montgomery, and we're gonna help Justin Fields in that backfield, man. Let's go get a star in the making, Devin A-Chain.
Yeah, that's ridiculous explosion, and being able to hold that edge with that zone read with Justin Fields is going to be problematic. That's going to be problematic. Khalil Herbert's a good player as well, no question about it. But that's a nice combination there in your backfield. Philadelphia, Drew.
I wanted to go running back, but they had already signed Rashad Penny. I like the fit for him there. But let's continue to aid this defense. And I'm going to go Isaiah Foskey. A lot of talk was for him to still, he was actually, people talking about him being a first round pick. I don't know, what the feeling on him is at the current moment. But I think he has the talent. He just got some things that he's got to work on in terms of secondary moves and just being consistent and getting stronger off the edge. But when he's on, and you don't have to rush him into this Eagles defense. You have a nice little rotation. It's how they got to the Super Bowl is they had that rotation. He can add to that in terms of that D line in them trenches.
All right, and for our final selection in our 2-round mock draft head-to-head duel 2023 NFL mock draft, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Headley, you went with Jalen Hyatt in the first round. Do you go get your tackle here? I know you were a Jalen Duncan guy. It's him.
It's an easy decision, man. We saw him at the Senior Bowl. I passed up on tackle 32, got called out for it. Like, you know what? You're right, man. No Orlando Brown. I guess we got lucky here because Jalen Duncan is he has top 5 tackle potential at a Senior Bowl. Everything looked
Mhm.
effortlessly. Big guy that can move. Just got to clean up some of that technique stuff. And I think the Chiefs could develop offensive lines pretty well. So we're going Jalen Duncan, putting them on the left side.
All right, guys. This has been a fairly long live stream, so we're going to leave you with a brief recap of these selections. I will say for Headley, Drew, this is Juice. We will see you guys Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Couch Potato General Manager, the second half draft show. So, with that being said, for Headley, Drew, this is Juice. We're going to sign off.